Okay guys, hi and welcome to my bathroom. I'm hiding from everyone in my house right now. So I'm here in my bathroom. It's the only quiet place where I can just film for a little bit. So I've been reading comments lately and I have seen a lot of people ask for a postpartum update. So that's what we're gonna do today. I am now 14 months, give or take, postpartum. And so Sean is 1. I haven't sat down to do a full-on update for me. I did a 1-year update for Sean. But I don't know, I guess today I want to talk about how I'm doing physically, emotionally, mentally. Am I weaning? Baby number 4, all of those things. We'll just chat for a few minutes until somebody needs me and I have to leave. But number 1, I hope that if you guys were pregnant with me this go around when I was pregnant with Sean, if you guys are also a year postpartum, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope that this time of just recovery and this transition into your kid is now a year old, that it has been smooth for you. So overall, I guess we'll start off, I don't know, do we start off physically? Do we start off mentally? Let's start off mentally and emotionally and then we'll get to physically. Mentally, I feel like I am in a really good place. This time around with Sean, I know that I documented a lot of my anxiety with Jackson and stuff when I had the 2 kids. At one point I had to go on Lexapro and I documented all of that. Back when we were living in Virginia, I had a lot of postpartum anxiety and I would even say some postpartum rage that I dealt with. Back then, I was very much a proponent of if you need some help, medically, it's okay. I got on a very low dose of Lexapro back then and then eventually I weaned. So I haven't been on it since because somebody was asking me the other day, have you had to get back on it? I haven't, only just because I have been mentally in just a much better place than I was with that transition with the 2 kids. It has been a lot, all of that to say, I'm not on meds, but it is a lot. It is a lot, having 3 kids. There's a lot more mental load. There's a lot that I'm managing. So I'm in a good place. I'm not sad. I'm not depressed. I'm not, in a place where I feel I can't handle this. Yes, I'm tired mentally and physically and emotionally, but still doing good. And I think that, obviously it's a testament to just the fact that I really leaned into my faith, because without that component in my life, I feel I would have been in a much worse place. My mood overall is really good. I guess the hard part and when my mood starts to not get so great is not necessarily tied to the having Sean. It's just more so when the other big kids are fighting, just basic being a mom kind of stuff. When the kids are fighting, that makes my mood not in a good place. When Sean isn't sleeping, that was the one trigger for me when he's not sleeping. Today, he refused to take his first nap, was screaming for an hour. That will get to me. I think that's normal. Nobody likes to hear their kids scream. So just very basic stuff like that. But I am, you guys, I am finally sleeping through the night. And Sean is sleeping through the night, therefore I am sleeping through the night. It didn't happen until Sean was about a year old. So right after he was a year old, that was the first time in a year that I slept the entire night. So that for my overall mood and mental health has done wonders, because sleep deprivation sucks. Sleep deprivation is just not it. It's just not good for anyone. So the fact that everyone is now sleeping is good. And we'll have our off days here and there, but for the most part, if I put Sean down 6:30 or 7, he'll sleep till 6:30 or 7 in the morning. So that is good. Yay for me. Everybody clap, because I needed that so desperately. I think if I'm being honest though, the thing that I still struggle with the most is the being overstimulated. That's very much still a thing. Something I'm trying to manage just on my own. When I get overstimulated, I have to remind myself to vocalize that, to tell everyone, hey, you all need to shut up. You guys all have to be quiet because mom is overstimulated. And I try to do that before I explode, just in total being triggered. So I'm trying to let everyone know, hey, this is happening. I need a moment. I need you guys to lower the volume. I need to turn off the TV. I need you guys to separate if it's a fighting situation, because that does trigger me. And with enough of that all day long, those are the days where I'm just rageful, where I'm just angry and mad and I'm screaming. That does happen. So working on that, but I'm trying to do that unmedicated and just trying to pray a lot, trying to just focus on getting some time for myself, which does still happen. It's just, it takes a lot more intentionality for me to get my alone time. I get a lot of questions from you guys, which is very sweet that you guys are concerned about my me time. So I appreciate that, because you guys are real friends when you're worried about whether or not I'm getting some me time. So I think it's definitely easier for Joe to get me time. Like, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't. But we're still trying to find ways for me to get some time. Like throughout the week when I'm homeschooling, like I'm home with the kids all day. So I do have to be very intentional about like, if I put Sean down for a nap, maybe at that point, I just tell the kids, let's do some quiet time. And that is like an hour where I can catch up on a show, or I can do work, which isn't really like relaxing, but time for me, I can open up a book. Lately, when Joe gets home from work on the days that he doesn't have ministry, like we look at our calendar, and if there's a day that he doesn't have ministry, then I know that that night I can prioritize some stuff for me. So like I'll book myself a massage, a massage envy, or a facial, and I'll like run out for an hour and do that. I've done that a handful of times. Or for me, honestly, my biggest self-care thing that I do, that you guys ask about, like what do you do for self-care? I love going to Goodwill. Like I love a good thrift trip. I love just running in there and telling Joe, like, watch the kids, I'm gonna go, you know, do an errand, and then I'm gonna run by Goodwill. That for me is just enough time to just get away for a little bit, have my thoughts that I can hear in my brain, and then I come home and then we'll do dinner or whatever. So we do that. I also have a Bible study that I've been doing once a week on Zoom, so that's something that I do on Thursday evenings, and that's just like a little me time. I also have a book club that I've been going to that I told you guys about. I do book club once a month. That's with my girlfriends from co-op, and that's just like always a good time. Like that morning, that once a month, you know, book club morning, Joe knows that he's home with the kids, and that's when I go and I escape, and I love that. That is like such a healing thing for me. This weekend, we're also doing like a girls brunch one in the morning, so it's harder, and sometimes it does require like using some of our weekend time, which could be more like just family time. So I have to like pick and choose, like, you know, how to use my time wisely. But I'm trying to prioritize that, because otherwise I'd just be absolutely insane these days. Like I do recognize more so now that I have 3 kids that I need more time to just be alone. And I can't feel bad about that, that I do need to recharge, because I can feel it when I'm not recharged. Like I can feel it, like the times that Joe's gone away on trips and stuff for work, and when he went on his retreat, that I was doing bedtime by myself with the 3 kids, like for 5 days, like I am done. Like I have nothing left to give, because it's a lot. So yeah, that's just like, I guess, a good overview of like mentally where I'm at. Like I think I'm doing a good job of just showing up and trying to like look on the positive side of things, and trying to like have a good attitude about things. I have my days. I have days where I feel like I'm in a funk. Those are the days where I really just try to prioritize praying even more so, because I know that that's the only thing that's really gonna truly lift me out of it. But good, I think, mentally. And then emotionally, I guess that kind of like ties in with that. I don't know what exactly to say other than emotionally I'm good. I mean, I'm kind of sad that Sean is already a year, like he is a big kid already. So I'm trying to process that. I don't know, like there's a part of me that's processing the whole idea of like, are we gonna have another kid? Like, let's talk about that, right? Like, are we going to have another child? Is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? This morning, I will tell you, this morning I got a comment from someone. I posted a reel and someone said, looks like you're cooking baby number 4. And I had to restrain myself so much to not reply, looks like you just called me fat, because I'm not pregnant. So yeah, that's been fun. I think a lot of people are speculating that I am pregnant. A lot of people are speculating that I'm trying to somehow hide that I am pregnant. I, to my knowledge, am not pregnant. But are we preventing a pregnancy? We're not. Right now, we're very much like, we're giving it to the Lord. If he chooses that I get pregnant, then I will. If not, then I won't. I mean, we're doing it, so can we get pregnant? We can, but again, it's totally up to God's timing. So I'm trying to process a little bit of that, and I think that's kind of something that's like an emotional thing in my life, because I don't know, I have days where I'm like, I'm ready to have another one, and then I have other days where I'm like, that is terrifying. And I think that was kind of like similar in nature with Sean. Like when I got pregnant with Sean, like, did I want another baby? Of course. Like that was like our whole journey, right? Like I wanted baby number 3, Joe didn't. I don't have to rehash the whole thing here, but it was still like, this is scary. Like this, you know, would change our life. So the idea of having another baby would be a scary thing. But at the same time, like when I got my period back for the first time, I was like, I don't know, like when I got my period, it made me kind of sad, like I'm not pregnant. So emotionally, like you go through a whole lot of different things, I think, postpartum. My hormones, and I guess, I don't know, is that physically or emotionally or mentally? Like all the things are tied anyway. My hormones have been all out of whack. All out of whack because, okay, so I'm weaning Sean. We're not 100% weaned. Like he's still somewhat nursing. He still nurses a couple times a day, but like the whole feeding throughout the night thing that was happening for like a year, that is gone. So because of that, I feel like my hormones are all fluctuating, and that's part of like when I got my cycle back is when I started weaning and that whole thing. So my hormones in the weaning period like have been wild. And I don't know how many people like talk about that. Since I have been weaning, that has been the source of many fights that Joe and I have been in because I just feel like unhinged sometimes. I've had many times where I've been going through the, you know, like how when you get, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I get very sappy and like, I don't know, somewhat depressed-ish kind of like before I get my period, and I look at Joe and I'm like, he doesn't love me. Like just all these like ridiculous thoughts that go through your head when you've got these big hormone shifts. I've been going through those. So those have been kind of interesting. I forgot like just how much your cycle impacts like your mood and the things that you tell yourself. So that has been interesting. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what's been happening just like in my mind, my headspace. But overall, I think it's more good than bad. Thankfully, I have a lot of people around me. I have a good close circle of friends now and people that I can talk to about stuff. So that's super healthy for you to have people that you can talk to this stuff about. You know, if you are struggling in any way, because I know what it's like to struggle, I definitely like, please don't ever feel like there's any shame in reaching out to see a counselor, reaching out to see a therapist, getting someone to prescribe you medication if it's something that they genuinely feel like you would benefit from, some kind of medication, because like we have to be able to function. Like we have to be able to function. Otherwise, the rest of the house just goes to crap, right? Like otherwise, like you have children to take care of, you have a husband to also sometimes take care of. Like we have to like be on point. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself. If you take anything away from this video, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. With that same breath, I'm gonna say I have been struggling to take care of myself physically. So we'll go into like the physical stuff now. Physically, I have never shied away from the fact that I hate exercising. I do not work out. It's been a struggle. Like I just don't like working out, but I know that I have to, right? So I'm trying to get back into that now. I'm trying to do it, but I'm super tired. So I have to just motivate myself some way, find some good videos. You guys the other day on one of my reels gave me some good recommendations for like 10-minute videos that I could watch and just start little with like some 10-minute YouTube videos. So I'm planning on doing that. I'm just struggling because this is my third baby and I'm down in terms of my weight. When I weighed myself the other day, I was 136 pounds and I was weighing about this, like 135 when I got pregnant with Sean. So I'm technically like back to my pre-baby weight, but I still feel and like my clothes fits me as if I'm much heavier than that. And I don't know if you've experienced that too. I feel like, I don't know, 135, 136 on my frame today just feels different than it did before I got pregnant with Sean. And so I think the lightest I've ever been has been like 125. So like, could I lose another 10 pounds? I don't know how. I would have to really change my eating habits and work out. But I mean, I guess I could lose some, but I used to be much more comfortable with this weight. I just feel a lot of, and I'll show you guys now, but I feel like there's a lot of like looser skin in my stomach. My muscles are not as tight, like my core is not as tight as it used to be. So that's probably why everyone just thinks that I'm pregnant when I am not. So thanks to you guys. But for a year postpartum, look, I'll show you guys. For a year postpartum, this is gonna be me sucking in any ounce that I have, like sucking it in. This is my belly. And so I used to have much more definition in my stomach, but I have a lot of stretch marks. I have like a lot of loose skin, even a year postpartum. I think that comes with the territory. My belly got huge with Sean, but overall, my biggest concern is that this like muscle here, whatever this is up here, it used to be a lot like stronger than it is now. And so this is me like from the side, you guys, just so you can see like what that belly looks like. Again, showing you because we are friends, okay? But I think I'm gonna go see the doctor later this month. And so I wanna talk to her just to make sure that I don't have that ab separation, because like, I don't know, I just feel like something is different this time than after I was pregnant with Jackson. I feel a difference. It could just be my age. I'm 34 years old. It could just be a change in like, hey, this was like baby number 3 and like you're not, you know, 20, how old was I when I got pregnant with Brady? 27 or 20, something like that. So there's like an age factor, fine, but I feel like something is different. Something has changed. I want to just make sure and rule out that there's no ab separation. And if there is, then what can I do to fix that? I'm also dealing with another issue that I want to talk to the doctor about. I don't know if it's like a gluten allergy. I don't know if it's just, again, my cycle is returning and there's changes happening. I don't know if it's anything worse, but I feel like after I eat certain things, which maybe I should keep a food diary, after I eat certain things, I get extremely bloated, like I've never been bloated in my life, to where I feel like, yes, it does in fact look like I am pregnant. And that used to never happen to me. So I'm going to try to like obviously talk to the doctor about it, see if she has any recommendations for me. That's kind of just somewhat concerning to me because it's something that never happened to me before. So trying to keep an eye on stuff like that. Other physical things, my boobs have gone away. Like my nice big nursing pregnancy boobs have disappeared. They have deflated and now they're very sad. So it's funny because now I finally fit back into like my pre-pregnancy bras. That's where we're at with the nursing situation. Like, again, I'm still nursing Sean, like for comfort more so, or like when he wakes up, I'm trying to just like continue dropping the whole nursing as much as I can because I don't have anything left in here. Like when he nurses sometimes, I'm like, I don't think it's possible for you to be getting much from here because it doesn't feel like I have much at this point. So I don't know how long he'll stay attached to my boobs, but I'm at least like trying to just get him to stop being on there because I'm officially touched out in that sense. He bites me, you guys. He bites hard and it's not fun. It's not fun, it's just painful, and it's not cute anymore. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes. And I guess the last thing that I'll mention is I keep saying that I got my period back. And it's interesting because after, like around the 1 year mark is when I believe it happened. So as I stopped nursing Sean, it usually takes me until I stop nursing to get my cycle back. So when I stopped nursing him throughout the night, that's when I got like my first period back. And it was like lots of blood, like TMI, but it was like a full-on period, very aware it was a period. But then the next month, I was expecting that I would have the same like cycle, the same menstruation, whatever you want to call it, that there would be a lot of blood. And it was actually like very light spotting. And so it was weird because like all of the things that usually happen to me before I get my period, like I start getting a headache and I can tell that it's like a hormone related headache. That happened. I was very crampy, but it was like very light spotting. So that happened, but I didn't get a full-on period. And so I know that it can take like a while for your body to like return to its normal cycle of every month getting a consistent period, but it's something that I'm gonna watch and then I'm gonna obviously mention to my doctor because I would like to return to that just regular cycle, because then that means that your body is working correctly. It means that you are fertile, so you can, you know, potentially get pregnant again. So I don't think that my body is there 100%. And honestly, I don't know if it ever will be. Like, that's kind of like the thing. I don't know, people instantly think like, oh, she's ready for baby number 4. Like, my body may not be ready for it. And I think that's the beautiful thing about God's design for our bodies. Like, maybe in his own way, he knows that we're not ready. Maybe it won't happen. Maybe it won't happen now. Maybe it won't happen ever. But I'm open to whatever he throws my way, but I obviously want to make sure that my body itself physically is operating correctly. So that is it, I think. I'm pretty sure someone needs me at this point. But if you have any questions about anything that I forgot, failed to mention, let me know. Let me know if there's anything like big that you've struggled with postpartum, or like, I don't know, what are your concerns right now? Let me know. We can help each other out in the comments and stuff. But I hope that was helpful, and just so you know that you're not alone, right, in this postpartum time. It's been a wild year, you guys. Wild, but it's been good. So many good things. I'm just dead tired. So I love you guys. I hope you're doing great, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye, guys.